I can select by year, right? I can go and enter a publishing date and get all the books prior to that year, okay? Prior to that year. I can delete a book from my inventory, or I can change a book price. So let's go ahead and start here. I want to select by genre. Now I have two cooking books, so let's keep these in mind because I'm going to select cooking. So I have Wish Sandwiches and the Energy Sandwich book, and I'm going to select cooking when we get there. So let me go to genre. Once again, you're going to notice I'm on a new page, the genre page. It looks very similar to the main page. As a matter of fact, this piece is right from that main table I created on the first page. So you can reuse code here, and this does have our validation here. There's no genre selected, so we get our required field error. Let me go ahead and select cooking and watch what happens. Of course, the error goes away. I get my result is I've done two things. One, I've taken what the user selected and put it right in the title. Books from the cooking genre. This came because they selected cooking. Whatever they select will end up there in my title. I've also go ahead and if you look, there's no genre in the table. There's no need. We said to select from the cooking genre, so you can manipulate the output of these tables. You don't really have to change the queries that you run. It's just you don't output that specific field in the table. So here we have our two cookbooks, and there we go. Now the next thing I want to do is select by year. So let me go to the year page, and I can now display all books published prior to a specific date. Now one other thing on the genre page that I didn't note to pay attention to, but it's the same on this page. We do the query on the page, we get the results of the query, and it's the same page. Okay, so we have one form for input, and you need to do something else once you run that query and get the result to make it show on the page. Right? So we've talked about this in class. You could use two forms, make one visible, one not visible, and then switch them after the query. You could use panels. It's up to you. There are other ways to do it as well. Okay, but the point is I'm on the same page, and I am providing input and output on the same page. This is that dynamic web interaction that we've talked about between the web, server-side scripting, and the database. So we have it all going on here. We have the tiers. So let me go ahead and enter 2011, right? And this is going to give me all books published prior to 2011. And it does in my inventory. Now notice I once again have a message, books published before 2011. I'm still on my year page, and I've actually rearranged the table because I wanted to sort by year. That's the requirements for the lab, from newest to oldest. So I actually put my copyright year at the far left, so it's easy for the user to see. Everything else is there. I didn't have to change any of the query, but so here are all my books published before 2011. Okay. So those were all selections. Everything's still on the table. The next thing I want to do is change a price of a book. Okay, so let me go ahead. I am going to grab the ISBN simply because I'm asking you to do the last two, the changing of the book price and the deleting of the book via the ISBN. And so, you know, you don't want to have to try to keep entering all those. To be honest, there are better ways to do it. We could bind the data from the database field into a drop-down list or whatnot, but that was beyond what I wanted to do for this lab or have you do. So I'm just going to take a copy of this ISBN, and I'm first going to change the price. So let's see, Philip Dick's Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which is Blade Runner, for those of you that need that bit of trivia, is $10.80, and we're going to change this price. So let me go to the change book price page. Once again, if I just try to do things, I've got required field errors. Let me enter the ISBN there, and let's say this is a collector's edition. So it's going to be worth, you know, $87.99. Okay, let's change the price. It used to be $10 and change. It is now $87.99, and it's arranged by price. So I put price over on the left, and I say book price for ISBN, and this is what I entered. Changed to $87.99. Notice on the prices we always have the dollar sign here, right? But we didn't enter it. It's not in the database, so there must be a way to make sure that the dollar sign always appears here, so a user can see it and it looks like dollars, or if we were using euros or whatnot, right? So we've now changed the price of a book. The last thing we can do is delete a book. Okay, so let me go ahead and I'm going to delete. Maybe this was so popular that people bought it out. We don't have any right now, so we're going to get rid of these out of inventory. So we're going to get rid of Philip Dick's book. So let's go ahead and go to delete a book, and once again we still have our validation ongoing, okay, and our regular expression's still there. And that's the case with all of these, right? And you've already done it once on the main page, so it's not that you have to rewrite the code, you just move it over. So we're going to go ahead and delete this book, and here we go. And we get on the same page, we get our confirmation back, book sorted by title without the ISBN, and here's the one we entered, and if you look, it is not there anymore. So we have deleted it out of the database. It is gone. Okay, it is completely gone. Now the last thing I want to show is because with the new SQL file we made the ISBN the primary key. Okay, so let's go back. Here's my Energy Sandwich book, my ISBN, and I'm going to go back to add a book, and let's say instead my Energy Sandwich here, right, I'm going to try to add a new book with the same ISBN. Now from what we've learned about primary keys, that's definitely not something you want to allow. So let's call this Super Energy. Okay. Say this may be the next edition or something like that. Still cooking. Now this could be a completely different book too. The whole key here is about the ISBN. Let's say it's coming out next year. Same publisher. And let's say it's $32. Okay. Now, what we're going to find is it's the same primary key. We have to deal. There's going to be an error. The database is going to throw an error because you're not allowed to have two of the same primary keys in a database. That defeats the whole purpose. So we have to somehow take care of this error. And we do, right? And it's error code 2627. The book talks about catching error codes and putting out messages. Notice we did not write the data confirmation out that it was added. You don't see a database. We specifically put out our error code. This is actually, you do not need to write this. This is the message, the error message that you can use. You have to have it in code so that C# knows what message to put out there. But I do say book not added, right? And I give a link back to the opening screen. And we wipe that out and start over again. So okay, there's our tour through our Lab 4 demo. Please make sure to ask questions online in the discussion area. Drop me an email or whatnot, and I will see you next week.